Okay, this is a video, especially for the newbies that just joined the team. That we play a bit of a different formation in this squad. So I'm hoping to do that again this season. So it'd be great for the newbies to actually hear this, and also for the players that are coming back from last season to hear it again, and just refresh what each and one of everyone else is going to be doing. So in the blue team over there, this is a sort of standard formation we'll probably be playing against. It's not us. So we're going to have, or they will have, usually two strikers. They'll have a left wing, a right wing, a left midfielder, a right midfielder, left back, right back, centre back, and a sweeper just to sort of cover any mistakes that are made in the back line. The red ones is what we are. So two centre forwards. We have an attacking midfielder and a defensive midfielder, a right midfielder and a left midfielder. We're going to have a right wing back, a left wing back, and two centre backs. Now, this is a transitional formation. So what makes it different is that when we are defending, this formation you can see right now is our defensive formation. When we go into attacking, that's when things start to change. So we are still going to attack as a team. So we're going to come up this way, our attackers come up here, and midfielders are pressing up now. Our defender is up on halfway, or thereabouts. Now these wings backs, they're not going to stay up on halfway with the defenders. So they actually take on a bit more of a winger role. So they're going to be coming around the outsides here through these channels. To help the strikers and help the midfielders press up high and get these options to come down the sides and swing that ball in through that way into the box. Now what I want to do is touch on individual players or positions at least, and talk about what your role is. Just basically, we'll go more specific later on, but this is just a real basic idea of what you'll be doing. So I'll start with wing backs first. That's who we were just talking about before. So you guys are obviously going to be working those channels up either side, up the sideline, pressing high in defence, coming back pressing high in attack rather, coming back in defence. You guys are going to be working super hard. It's such an important part of this formation because you'll be creating that two-player overload when we're attacking, but it's really important that you guys are still backs. We can't just ditch up our two centre backs and leave them short-handed all game. You've got to be able to get back, but you've got to press hard to make sure we make use of that attacking option and the whole idea of the wing backs in the first place. The two centre backs, you guys have a really important role in this formation too, because there are times you're going to be just two of you by yourself. You're going to have to really be able to rely on experience and be able to read the game. Make sure we've got to defend high still so that we give our wing backs a chance to get back. If we just drop straight back, they're going to run straight through us and our wing backs won't have a chance to get back in the defensive line. That also doesn't mean dive in. So that's where reading the game and working with each other comes in. It makes it really important. Then we've got the midfielders. So midfielders, you're going to have a defensive midfielder and attacking midfielder. And I'll address those both at the same time, because just because you've got attacking or defensive next to your name doesn't mean that you're a defensive midfielder is not a defender and an attacking midfielder is not an attacker. You're still midfielders. That doesn't mean you can't swap over with each other. It doesn't mean you can't switch. It doesn't mean you can't make a run if it's on. Just make sure that if you're an attacking midfielder and we're attacking and then we lose possession, you still have to get back into that midfield role. You don't go thinking, but I'm the attacking midfielder, so I'm only really a midfielder in attacking formations. You have to be a midfielder, so you have to get back and you have to help out. The left and right midfielders, you are obviously playing left and right. Again, it's a very fluid formation. You can switch and change and do all that sort of stuff as well. You might go in the middle. You might go and swap with another player, depending on whether you can track a player or whatever. I want to make sure, though, that we don't get too caught up in that right midfielder. You are a right midfielder. You're not a right winger, so you shouldn't be out here. And same with the left-hand one as well. We do want to keep those channels open in an attacking formation for those wing backs to come down if we can, all right? It does also mean that wing back might get the ball here and they might play a ball out for you to run onto, but you've got that channel there as an option to move into. it's not like you're going to be standing there with the defender on you and that wing back player is looking for a player to pass to and they can't get it to you because you're being defended. So I do want to play a bit more of a compact diamond in the middle there rather than spread right out and being in heaps of space. So these players are going to have good skill, and be able to read the game as well, and be able to turn out. And that option for that right midfielder should be able to pass out to the right to that wing back coming through, and that left midfielder should always be able to pass out to that wing back coming through as well. Strikers, well, your job is to score goals, obviously. You're going to be sprinting. You're going to be doing cross runs to sort of beat that offside trap. When we don't have possession and they've got the ball in defence, I want you guys to work like, the best analogy I can use is like a set of windscreen wipers. So if the ball's, I'll change this keeper into a ball. If the ball's coming down this side, I want you guys to both press over that way. If the ball's coming out this side, you guys are going to track that way. Once the ball comes past that, you guys are probably going to be off the hook from there. You're going to be looking at talking to each other, planning your next attacking move, where we're going to go from there. Now with this formation, there are a few advantages and disadvantages in it, and I'll go through the advantages first. The big thing with this comes down to what we're doing with the wing backs here, and you see this in a lot of the professional teams these days. You don't see it in a whole heap of the amateur teams. These wing backs here, they're very rarely marked, right? So I think I may have mentioned this before to you, but the defenders will mark our team strikers. The midfielders are trying to man up on our midfielders, but no one really picks up these wing backs as they're making the runs down the side. So it's a huge attacking option. It's awesome for the midfielders and the attackers to be able to look out or look sideways when we're attacking, or even for these centre backs here to be able to work the ball out to the side. And again, if we lose the ball out here, it's not as big a deal as if we lose the ball in here, right in the middle, bang, goal. The other idea is that because it is very attacking, it's like the old saying that the best form of defense is a good offense. When we're all pressing up, you'll find that not many players in your division will be able to kick the ball from here all the way over to there in one movement. It's going to come out in little kicks and little passes. And if we've got that two-player overload, it means we kind of squash it here and then we're back in again. So we mean we're attacking and create a lot of good goal scoring opportunities. And that's one of the things we looked at last season as at half time, we'd look at, okay, how many shots have we had in comparison to how many shots has the other team had? And how many shots have we had on target, how many shots have they had on target? And then how can we improve those attacking options as well? So by playing that far up the pitch, you'll find we're going to create a lot more attacking options. Disadvantages, well, obviously if we're pressing quite high, we're going to be a bit short-handed at the back, which that means that these two centre-back heres are going to be on their game, talking to one another, talking to other players, making sure they hold that ball up halfway as much as possible, allow these wing-back players to come back. The other disadvantage is in this formation, there's nowhere really to hide. If a player's not doing their job, if they're too tired, if they don't know what they're doing, we will get found out. So it's going to be really important that everyone understands their role on the weekend. And if you don't understand, just please tell me, because if someone doesn't know, if it's one person that doesn't know, so if this attacking midfielder thinks that they're a striker and they're not coming back to help, or if this defensive midfielder is not helping the midfielders because they're too defensive, it leaves big holes in the field, and those big holes is where we get found out. So make sure that everyone knows what you're doing before you go on the field, and if you don't, just tell me and I can talk you through it. And same thing, don't be offended if you're on the field and you're not doing exactly what I want you to do. I might take you off and say, okay, look, I've put this person on your position, I've told them to do this, because I felt like you weren't doing that well enough. So just watch that again and see what they're doing. But it's a very exciting formation. It's a very attacking formation. I expect lots of goals to be scored, lots of shots to be had, and I think we'll have a lot of fun, and I think we'll make it work.